Hi, my name is James from Robotech Development Hewitt Jewellery. In my second video I'm going to give you a bit more of an explanation on all of the parameters on the NewTek Studio Plus laser welding machine. So first of all, we're going to start the laser up by simply turning the key. When the key is turned, the machine goes through various different safety checks to check everything in the machine is functioning as it should do correctly. So on the touchscreen display here, we've got all of the different parameters, and I'm going to explain them to you a little bit more so you understand them. First of all, we've got the power shown in kilowatts. Now this goes from 0.5 kilowatts up to 5.5 kilowatts depending which machine you actually have. The different power comes in when you're doing different jobs. For example, a hollow item will need a lot less power than a large chunky bangle where you will need more power to actually fuse the metal together. The next one is the time. The time is telling you in milliseconds how long each laser shot is. The longer the shot, the more the weld is going to penetrate the metal. The next one is the frequency, and the frequency tells you how the machine is going to fire and the repetition rate. When this is set to 0 Hz, when the foot pedal is pressed, you will only get one shot, which is one tack of the laser until you let go of the foot pedal and press it again to get more shots. You can increase the frequency up to a maximum of 10 Hz depending on the power setting you're using, and this effectively will give you, for example, 1 Hz, 1 shot per second. The machine will keep on firing until you let go of the foot pedal. The next setting is called the spot size. The spot size depends on the accuracy and type of job you're going to do. For example, if we're working next to a diamond, we need pinpoint accuracy, so we go for the smallest spot size, which is 0.3 millimeters, so we can work very close and very accurately. If we're then going to something, for example, welding a seam weld together, we don't need such a pinpointed weld. We can go to a larger spot size, for example 0.6. The larger spot size will give exactly the same type of welding, but by increasing the spot size we can get a nicer, better finished weld which is much more pleasing to the eye. As well as this, we have the gas function on the laser machine. The gas means we can introduce, for example, a nitrogen or an argon gas to create an inert atmosphere to stop oxidization on the workpiece. This will mean that there's no black marks left behind after you've welded the metals together. The next one is the waveform. The waveform explains to you how the laser is actually going to work. For example, this is what we call a square wave. So the power is going to come on to 1.5 kilowatts, stay on for example 3.1 milliseconds and go off. But by adjusting the waveform we can adjust the laser so the power comes on, gradually does the weld and goes off, or the opposite, so that the laser will come on, do the weld and go off gradually. This is something which you will only be altering for certain alloys such as titanium. But if you buy a NewTek laser welding machine, we will explain that to you a little further to get a better explanation of how that's going to affect the job. The next thing we've got on the machine, and the final thing on the display, is the memory function. If an operator finds a particular setting works for a particular job that they do all of the time, you can save the settings into the machine. For example, here on the screen it's showing program 1. We have saved those settings into the machine, so we can simply, in a few clicks of the buttons, recall those memory functions and start the machine welding again. The final thing on the controls is the dongle here. The dongle does various functions, the main one being it's a service key. Every time the laser is used, it sends a signal to this dongle and saves all of its settings it's used, any fault codes it's displayed, so that if you ever have an issue with your machine, a technician can plug the dongle into their laptop and work out exactly what has gone wrong with the machine. Inside the welding chamber we have a joystick as well, so instead of having to keep on taking your arms out of the machine to adjust the settings on the screen, it can be done inside with the joystick. That's the end of the second video. In the third video we're going to show you some basic examples of laser welding with the NewTek Studio Plus welding machines.